All right, hello and welcome to episode 12 of Minechat this week. My name's Colin Gallagher, and with me, as usual, is Rob Newbury. How are you doing,
Hello.
Rob?
Very good today. Very
Kind
good.
of, kind of fumbled your name there for a second.
What did you call me?
I just kind of went Newbury. Just
Yeah, that's
mumbled
good.
your.
That's
Yeah,
good enough.
that's fine. And this week we're with Stephen Reid in his world. How are you doing, Stephen?
Very well, thanks. Very well,
Good,
Colin.
good. So we're just starting off here on your little spawn platform. So you can just introduce
Mhm.
yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and where we are this week.
Great. My name is Stephen Reid, and I run a creative consultancy serving education based in Scotland, but serving education around the world with or helping teachers to use ICT in the classroom, creative ICT. And there's a whole range of ICT that we use. We help teachers to podcast, make videos, animation, Web 2 technologies, mobile technologies, and so on. But one of the big successes we've had over the last 2 years is games-based learning. We use Little Big Planet, and we use Portal, Tomb Raider, the Myst series, and we use almost every kind of console and PC and Mac. But what's been really successful for us has been Minecraft. Hence, we're here, and we're standing currently in the spawn area of our Minecraft world, which is dedicated to free CPD for teachers. So teachers can join us anytime, 24 hours a day, provided they obviously book in advance. They can join us anytime for free CPD. In our world, where they get given a space to build and to mine and to explore, to craft and create. And we take them through all of that. And what we also do is we help them, because we're educators, we help them to then focus their what they've learned on their own subject. So taking it back for topic work or mathematics or literacy or the sciences and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we offer here.
Great. So basically, you're just giving them the opportunity to see the potential of Minecraft in their classroom or subject.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's just such an amazing tool. And I was surprised by how many thousands and thousands of pupils were playing it, but how few teachers were aware, in some cases, of even what it was. So what we decided to do was to start offering this as a service to schools. And we just offer it as a free service. We built the world, we bought the server, built the world, and then invited teachers in. And we've had a huge success so far. We've had teachers from all around the world coming in for an hour here and an hour there just to learn the basics of Minecraft.
That's great. So we can, Rob, were you about to say something or no?
No.
Nope. Great.
Let's have a tour.
Yeah, we'll have a little tour. Yeah, that's always the
Yeah,
best
sounds
bit.
good.
Yeah.
Well, we started with a treehouse just simply because we wanted to give the impression that this was the higher place, if you
Higher
like.
place,
But
Uh-huh.
you liking that? You liking that?
I see what you did there.
Yes.
And then what we've done is just to give you an idea of how we've designed the world. If you follow me down the stairs here,
Okay.
at the front of the treehouse,
Yeah.
you'll see ahead we've got buildings on our left and buildings straight ahead, and to our right we've got a QR code. Now that QR code works. This was something that I had an idea, and I use QR codes outside of Minecraft in projects, getting kids doing outdoor learning. And we use Minecraft for some geocaching, and we use we use QR codes for helping kids to explore the outdoors, basically. So I thought, since we're simulating an outdoor world, if you like, in Minecraft, why don't we bring QR codes in and see if they work? So I did, and what you're looking at here is just a working QR code which can be scanned direct from your screen using a mobile QR scanner, and it's made using white wool and black wool, and it's made accurately, and it works. So what we do with this is we get teachers to, if teachers are building a Minecraft world, we get them to consider that in key places they might want to place a QR code which holds access to other information. So it's also encouraging kids not just to stay in the game, but to come out of the game and explore the real world through Minecraft. And that's one of the keys, in my opinion, to games-based learning, is not allowing the kids to stay within the game. I mean, immersive games-based learning is fantastic anyway, but let's get the kids coming back out and making it relevant to their own world.
All right. How hard was it to make that so accurate? How did you kind of plan that out?
Well, a graph paper. Almost everything I do is with graph paper. I have a little graph pad, and I looked at I looked at a QR code online, and I just counted the squares. I started with the main sort of squares that you see on the top left, top right, and bottom left.
Yeah.
And then I just worked from there. I just, with the visual eye, I just counted, and it's a great exercise for kids as well with graph
Yeah.
paper, because
That would
what
be
you
cool.
ultimately do your mapping and your plotting. And some ideas have even come from this. Some of the kids that I've worked with have said if you were to lay that down flat and you were to imagine that every square was 10 Minecraft blocks, you could build a city that was a QR code. And when you looked down on that city, you could scan it. And they've built buildings that are actually functional within the QR code. So as long as the roofs are all black. So that's another project that we've been working on as well, is making cities that actually link to the outside world and so on.
Yeah.
So it's about getting ideas. And this is one of the key things that I love about Minecraft is it's all about ideas. What can teachers do that's relevant to what they're teaching, but is fully engaging and getting the kids actively learning and actively participating.
Yeah. That's
So,
great.
if we move on to the first building here, we'll get you to land down on the ground at the front building.
Yep.
And we'll move to the left first of all. And the reason we're going to do that is because in the playground here, we've developed a portal system using one of the mods that you can develop. And it's a simple case of standing on one of the blue lapis lazuli blocks and you'll be taken to another linked lapis lazuli block. Now, why we've offered this service is because when teachers come in or other educators come in, they quite often don't have a server of their own, and what we want to offer is space for them to build. So we've got some people over here like Adam from the Common People,
Yeah.
and we've got Tin Can Learning, and we've got Computer Explorers, who are an American company who have franchises in the UK. And what we've done is we've given them land, and then we build a portal in their piece of land, and then all they have to do when they spawn into our world is go to their portal, go to their land, and they've got the freedom to do with whatever they please. And we also offer that services to schools as well. So if schools want to, say for example, I've got one ICT teacher or a couple of teachers who are interested in this, but they want to spread the word and they want to go off and do their own CPD, we offer space in our world to do that. At the moment, the server only holds 10, but for a while we did have it up to 100, and we're looking for funding to take it back up to 100 so we can increase that service capacity for free. So if I bring you back over to the building here, this building is the HP Primary School. Of course, because we're in education, we thought we'd stick to the same system as the British education system in particular, where we have a primary school and then we have some sort of high school. So when we come in, we thought we'd build it in the traditional way. We've got reception, library, and so on. And then as we go through, there's a receptionist.
Receptionist.
Yeah. And then as you go through here, we've got arrows, and basically the primary school is looking at the basics. So there's a series of signs along. So this means that even if we're not online, if Woody and I are not online, teachers can follow the signs and they can look at the basics. So they learn where trees grow and why they grow, and then 1 tree wood equals 4 planks, etc. And they start to learn the basics of crafting.
That's cool.
So it's a kind of a mini guide, if you like, and we also encourage teachers to look up the Wikipedia, which of course is the best source anyway. Yeah. Awesome. These are some of the things they can build and so on. So if I just take you through quickly, we'll just walk through here.
It's like a little museum of Minecraft.
That's exactly what
it is actually. It's really cool.
A little museum with instructions along the way.
So I want to ask you a question about those portals, because I was just too busy walking around looking at stuff.
Sure.
Those portals that you had at the beginning, those are server-to-server portals, or are those just those are different areas on this server?
Yeah, in this world. So they'll take. Our server, we believe our server is around roughly the size of France in terms of landmass, digital landmass. So what we want to do is we want to get teachers in and taking some of that land from us, because we'll never cover that whole land.
Right.
So what we've done is we'll fly maybe 10 minutes north or 10 minutes east or something. We'll allocate a piece of land and we'll wall it using WorldGuard, so that using factions, which is a mod, I'm sure you're aware, is a mod called Factions, which allows us to name that piece of land after a school and then protect it in the name of that school, so nobody else can dig and mine and invade and ruin.
Yeah, I've been on a server like that before.
Yeah, and then what we do is once we've named it after that particular education establishment, we then invite them on board and we portal them to that piece of land. So it's in this particular piece of land. Now, the area that we're in just now is now the academy, what we call the AHP Academy. And if I just draw your attention to, up the stairs there is the staff room. Wouldn't you like a staff room like that?
Oh yeah. Overseers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here the right-hand side, as you come in the gate there, you'll see the globe.
Lovely.
Um,
Yeah.
This is our geography department. So if we head up into the globe here, we've done a number of things with this, but as you come into
Jeez.
the globe, you can see that the world's been split in half. So you're immediately talking to the kids about,
Oh,
teachers have used this in the past, talking to the kids about the core of the earth and the inner, the inner mantle and the outer mantle and all that kind of stuff. And then the various blocks. So this is a kind of a geography orientated area and a classroom. And we encourage teachers to set up spaces like this so that the kids can learn about specific subjects within Minecraft, and of course they can be creative as possible. So it would be amazing if geography departments could quite literally have a world that kids could walk into, and a history department could maybe have a, I don't know, a
Some
battle
different
theme or
eras, yeah.
yeah.
Totally,
a
yeah.
different walk into. But if you head down the stairs over here, what we've also done is just over here by the, there's a flight of stairs comes down. This is a lecture theatre. And we've actually held successful, not lectures as such, but presentations. So we invite people online and they come in with their various Minecraft skins and they all gather around, and then our speakers join on Skype and our speakers do a little presentation. I mean, it looks like they've got a whiteboard and a projector.
I
but
see
we
that.
don't.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's just a way of bringing people together in what they
Sure.
feel like is in an education capacity, an education environment, but it's really just it's a Minecraft copy of that.
How many people
And
have you had in for these lectures?
When we had the server up to the capacity of 100, we had 15 or 16 in at once, which is not great, but it's
It's
know what,
okay. Jeez, it's better than
yeah,
one.
it was a good teaching. It was a good teaching environment. So if
Sure.
I just move over to the second building here. This is our academy. Now, I won't spend too long in here because it's simply a series of classrooms which are all designed to give examples of how you might set up a classroom environment and get kids thinking about the space that they're in. So this one's maths with signs and times tables around the room. We've got our computing department. We've tried to fake computers. That didn't really work.
They looked okay. Yeah.
They looked all right, didn't they? And then up here we've got everything. We've got swimming pools. In there's the swimming pool in the PE department. We've got French, which of course, French is modern foreign languages is a fascinating one because I've always been, I don't speak a foreign language, which is a shame, but whenever I'm in schools and we're using technology, I always find that some of the biggest uptake of using technology in the classroom is from a modern foreign languages perspective. So what we've done is we've basically said, if you are going to use Minecraft, let's get the kids talking about everything exclusively in French or exclusively in German. And kids will thrive on that. They absolutely thrive on that. They want to know what the French is for sand and the French is for stone and all this kind of stuff. So we just set up a little example there. We have a music room, which again, music teachers have always been quite amazed that you can set up the tuning blocks and all the different instruments. So we've got that going on in there, and there's some amazing stuff online that people have done with the music blocks.
Yeah.
Science departments. I'll take you off to the science department. We've got things like staff rooms, dinner halls, and so on. But if I just take you off to our science department, what we do with the science department is we talk, of course, about the science, the physics, mechanics in Minecraft. So we've got things like our
redstone examples and stuff. Yeah.
So on. Yeah, this actually needs updated because every time they update Minecraft, they do something fantastic. Redstone, and they've just done the most stuff. But and then out here we've got this was actually pupils that came up with this idea. We were talking about DNA, and we wanted to build a double helix, and the kids said, well, why not make the double helix the stairway down to the science department? So we designed a giant double helix, which took again a lot of graph paper planning and trying to work out what it looked like and how it would best be made. And then when they did it, we had the science department, which still needs filled up, but we've also got this is a work in progress, but we've got the chemical, the table.
Wow.
And it's color coordinated. And what we do is, the reason it's not finished yet is because we're working with a group of kids on this, and as they learn it, and as they prove they learn, it's almost like an exam system. They learn it. They learn about, say, vanadium, for example. And once they've learned about vanadium, we do a small test. And once the test has been successfully completed, they're allowed to put up a sign that says vanadium is here and does this. So it's all about kind of putting it into memory, and they're desperate to fill it. They're desperate to fill it, and we do kind of like we do one a week, and it's taken us a few weeks to get to that stage, as you can see.
It's awesome.
That's great.
So we organised. And then if I take you out of here and up into, this is what we call our solar museum, where we've put all of the planets and then signs that describe what those planets are. So we've kind of created a night, a universe, and what would it be? It would be a galaxy, wouldn't it?
Solar system, yeah. That's unbelievable, yeah. That's crazy.
Created those, and then these bookshelves here. Oops, they're not all finished. Hang on, I need to empty my hand so I can play around with this. There we are. They're not all got books in them just now, but we have been developing books using a library system. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the library system yet, but there's a lot of mods out there where you can actually make and publish books and then put them onto these library shelves.
Yeah,
and what we hope,
yeah. I just are using Bookshelf, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the one, Bookshelf. And what we want to do is fill these libraries up with all the facts we know about Jupiter. And of course, we don't want to be the ones to do that. We want clients to do that. We want schools and school groups to be able to do that. So everything the kids know about Saturn should eventually end up in this bookcase here.
Mm-hmm.
So on. So I'll take you along the corridor here, and then we'll come out, and we'll jump over to, oh, here it is. I've gone a bit far. We've then got farms. Now, there's two farms. There's a farm with animals in it, and there's a farm with food in it. Now, one of the projects we use with the food farm here is getting the kids to appreciate what food is and where it comes from. And I know this is going to sound cliche, but I have genuinely asked kids in UK schools where chickens come from, and they tell me Tesco's, supermarkets. They literally tell me chickens come from supermarket. And not every kid by any stretch, but sometimes, the appreciation of food sources and where our food comes from and how far it travels to get here and what's the environmental impact of that and why is there food in some areas and not in others and so on, is sometimes missed. So what we've done is we've set up farming, and the kids come on and they farm and they plough, and then they turn they turn the crops into bread and soup and all the stuff that you can do in Minecraft. And we talk about the sustainability of that food and why it's important to replant that food and how many people they would have to feed. So if the population of the server was 100, how many loaves of bread would they need per day to feed 100 people, and so on. And we just get our kids thinking about food and food sources and the importance of food around the world, and we do that using a crop farm. So that's about as useful as that chunk of land gets, but it's been very, very successful, particularly with middle primary school kids. The flag that you see was a project that we did, and we left the British flag up, but we did have more of them. But that was getting kids to think about, geography and world flags. Simple as that. But what we did was we got them to create the flags as if they were in motion. So they started off. This was great, actually, how the kids did it, because we didn't tell them how to do it. We just said, I want it to look as if it's flying in the wind, flapping in the wind. And of course, it's not going to move, but we want it sort of mid-motion. We want a kind of a still of it in motion. So what the kids did was they graph papered the flags of the world, difficult with stars, but they captured the essence of them, and they did it flat. And then what they did was they looked at it from above, and they just shifted columns, one to the left, one to the right, and so on, until eventually the flag started to look as if it was in motion. And they did this across. We were actually looking at the European Union, so we looked at all of the European flags at the time.
What year were these kids that did this? How old were these kids?
The children that we did the world flags with were 9 and 10. That was upper primary school. They built those flags, and they studied the European Union as a part of that. We then got the kids, as you can see down below. If you float over where I am and look down below, you'll see a replica of our world. So we got the kids to map. Now, mapping is something that's really important for kids in a number of ways, but in particular, geography take care of the kind of the mapping side of things, and there's a large sort of element of maths in that as well. So what we did was we gave the kids a grid, and we got them to map it. So you can see the farm up in the corner there.
Oh yeah, here's the spawn. Yeah.
Yep, there's the spawn tree and so on, and we basically got the kids to map it and say, right, we want you to go around and map this, and we gave them the grid size, and they had to make it relevant in terms of what they were seeing. So we've added more since, and the map can't get much bigger than that, but it was a nice exercise just getting the kids to map what they saw. Now, the next element of this and where we took that was that those kids were learning about the displacement of one of the things they were doing in geography was the displacement of human population after a natural disaster or a war. And they were learning about the tragedy of natural disasters and wars and what would happen if the people could no longer live in their land and so on. So they looked at the migration of those people and the displacement of those people. And what we did was we set up 4 biomes. Now, this is a good bit away in our world just now, and there's not much left of it because it all got blown up by the TNT. But we set up 4 biomes, and we set up scenarios in which the kids had a choice of where to rehome these people. So there was places that had hills but very little water, and some that had valleys and lots of water, and so on. But what we did was we got them to imagine that in a war scenario, for example, there might be a minefield between here and there, which there very often is in some of these war zones. Minefields still existing today. So what we did was we got Mark and I set up a minefield on the approach road to each of the biomes, and we got the kids to carefully map the minefields, so the kids could then navigate a population through the minefield. So it was a great exercise for getting them to appreciate how maps might actually be useful in real life. And of course, what then happened was the school were then encouraged to take the kids outside of the school, away from the ICT, and outside of the school, and do real mapping in the classroom, map the school. School grounds. So we just bringing mapping into it was really important. In the distance there, I'll take you through it, but in the distance there we've got the Gruffalo Forest, you can see just beyond the map. And what we encourage the kids to do with that is we encourage the kids to read the Gruffalo Forest and then follow the path throughout. And as they go through, they have to imagine the creatures, and if they want to, they can build the snake or they can build the owl from the story The Gruffalo. And then when they get to the end, they meet the Gruffalo in the form of a giant foot. And it's just fascinating to watch some of the younger kids. We're talking lower primary school, ages kind of 5, 6 and 7, going through storytelling in Minecraft and making the world that they're reading about come alive in the form of Minecraft forest or something. So we're working on other stories to do for that as well. But we get the kids to work on it in groups, in pairs usually. One's reading while one's guiding the kind of the world through themselves through the world.
Very cool.
So next, bring you, if you don't mind, I'll bring you along to our art gallery, which is. I think I'll teleport you if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Ahead.
I'm lost in the forest. Yeah, I'm in the forest.
That mapping thing of the actual
Whoa.
the world is a pretty great idea that I think I'll borrow.
Will you?
Yes, I will.
Feel free. TP. There we are. That should you both with me.
Yep.
And this is our little art and design department. Now again, we worked with kids and we looked at 8-bit artwork, specific to computer games and things that they enjoyed. And we gave them this big hall. It was a big space underneath the secondary school. We weren't using it, so we turned it to stone and said to the kids, we want to look at 8-bit artwork as part of an art project that we were doing. So the kids went away and they looked at creating art using blocks, which of course is Minecraft all the way.
Yeah.
And my favourite, Pac-Man. The girl that made the Pac-Man stuff was fab.
They're all great. It's unbelievable. I love it. I love Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris was great, and that was another. The guy who made that, the kid that made that, said to me, "Can I knock a block out of the wall?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I want Tetris to feel 3D."
Yeah.
So we're asking them to do 8-bit art, and he was still thinking that Tetris should be 3D, which I thought was great because he obviously has a feel for exactly how it should look. So he was kind of telling me what he required. So we doubled the thickness of the walls, and we allowed him to dig into it. So that was just a small class. It was an after club that we did, and we said, "Look, let's look at some 3D artwork. 8-bit artwork." So that's our art gallery again. Just getting kids to think about the specifics of what they're learning through the world of Minecraft. And again, that was all done using graph paper and so on. So if you come out of the art gallery now,
I love the worm. I'm a big fan of worms, and I didn't think kids knew about worms, the game.
Yeah.
Still.
well, they went fair actually. They went. Some of them did automatically know about Pac-Man and so on, but they did go online and they looked up 8-bit computer games, which was of course a whole journey for me because I grew up with 8-bit computer games like Worms and the original Mario and so on. And and even back earlier than that, the Commodore 64s and the ZX Spectrums and so on. And the kids, what's this game and what's that game? And of course, I'm saying, oh, that one was amazing. That one was Jet Set Willy, and it was this and it was that. And they were all laughing because they thought my taste in games was rubbish, but they appreciated the art. So what we've got here is we're now outside of the grounds, and what we've got here is a lighthouse, which is a working lighthouse. If you float up to the top here, you'll see the lights going round. I must confess, I didn't. Woody built this. And the workings inside. It's all redstone and carts inside. And what we do with the kids here, this is a science example. What we do with the kids is we replicate this. And then what we do is we cut it in half and we ask the kids to complete the circuit. So teaching kids circuitry and teaching kids how to consider why something might have stopped working. So we go in and damage it and then get the kids to finish it.
Oh, get them to fix it up. That's cool.
Absolutely. And it makes links to, even though it's a science example, it makes links to the shipwreck, which is at the bottom of it, which leads us to our pirate village. Because we look at topical work, and our pirates are a particular favourite of ours. So when we go into primary schools, we always say to the teachers, who's doing pirates? They say, oh, we're doing next year. And we're just like, brilliant. So we built a pirate village. Now, we did this with kids. We built the pirate village. We started it. We got them to do the flag, and we got them to do the gallows, which I'll take you over to see. And then I'll take you to a particular part of the land, which is a little secret that the kids were fascinated about, that they could create secrets that the admins had to find. So we built the gallows, and then Mark's just going to demonstrate there if he stands, and we kind of string him up a bit. I'll wait. There we are. And then if I just pull this lever here, the thing slides away and he's left hanging, and the kids just thought this was great. Because obviously the physics of Minecraft don't allow it to work quite how it should. But to the kids, we got them to create the gallows and just basically said, if this was how, and of course it's morbid, and some teachers have said to us, I can't believe you've encouraged them to hang people, but the kid. I mean, it was all part of their, if you were a pirate, this is what the Empire did to you, and so on, and so they replicated that there. So sorry, I can see Rob waiting to be hung.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
down. Because if you did fall down, you would fall into the pit trap at the bottom, and it closes above you. So,
that's where you should be.
There you go.
See you later.
All right, have fun, guys.
If I into this place here, this is a little girl had said to me at this point. She said, "Sir, you've got to try and find my pirate secret, my secret stash." So in here we've got a little bar, and if we come down these stairs here, we've got. And it took me a while to find it, I have to say, but she's set this whole thing up, and in a little bridge over this chasm, and then we go in here, we've got the pirate's secret stash, diamond and coal.
Holy jeez.
They would hide their stuff, so she's convinced that pirates used to get coal and hide it. So lots of things. We've got a pirate hotel. This is where they stayed, and so just trying to give it's called Davy Jones's Hotel. Just trying to give the kids, and in particular the teachers, ideas for how pliable and how moldable Minecraft becomes.
Yeah.
Depending on learning. In this one, this is a football stadium over here. Now. We haven't played active sports in it, but what we have done is got the kids to think about advertising, to look at the power of advertising. And we were doing this with a group of primary school kids, and we were challenging social norms. And we were looking at, with these kids, we were looking at the quite serious subject of why things are normal to us that maybe weren't normal in our parents' generation, and so on. Language on the television, for example, or that kind of stuff. And we were looking at why we assume things, and one of those things was advertising. Why the importance of buying something, why we feel compelled to buy something, or why we feel compelled to wear brand names and so on. So we got the kids to look at where advertising occurs, and they were all, it's on the television and so on. And a lot of them were saying, well, it happens when we're at sports matches. When you're at sports matches, you're told who sponsors it and why you should buy their products. So we got them, of course, to come in, and we got kids to pick four famous brands and see if they could recreate those brands in Minecraft.
Very nice.
Of course, was one of them. Couldn't leave Mojang.
No.
So just a couple couple of more things, and then I think I'm done. I forgot to mention the pirate village has working cannons, which we can set up and
Oh.
fire. You'll notice over here we've got a working rail system. I'll just take you over here. We've got a working rail system which actually takes us all the way round the world. So this little door over here, that's it. If we head in here, oops, it's blocked me in. There we are. And the kids can get on the rails. Oh, we haven't got any carts on there at the moment. They've probably been taken away by teachers that have been in it. But basically, we've set up a rail system which eventually will take. So that goes to the Woods Hotel. And then we've got that one doesn't appear to go anywhere, and that one is pending completion. This one here, actually, sorry, I'm not. That's not true. This one here is the one it's the circular line, and it takes you around the entire place, and you can get off whatever you. We're in the process of setting up stations where you can get off whatever you like. But if we head through, let's just imagine we are on a cart.
Mm-hmm.
There's none there. If we head through this tunnel, we'll then come to some of the more creative things that we've been doing outside of the world. Like over here, we've got the Tetris Hotel. Try to imagine basically a giant puzzle, but we put lots of Tetris blocks down, and then you can choose from a number of doors and try and find your way around. And the kids think it's brilliant. And there's a prize over here. There's a if you can find your way to a redstone. What do you call it? A crate, and you can pick up redstone in it. But that's the Tetris Hotel.
Oh, it's like a maze.
It's a puzzle, and they don't always go where they're meant to. You sometimes find it's a dead end. And then we've got it's worth showing you the working volcano.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think to the 3D arena, and then that's us. We've got a working volcano now in the world that we've currently developed. Just for the sake of not having to rebuild the village every time, we have fire damage switched off. But when we replicate this for schools, we replicate it and we have fire damage switched on. And the kids built this little village and they called it Pompoo, which they thought. What we do is if you want to watch the whoever's filming, if you want to watch the volcano up there, this mountain, you can't climb the mountain. We've set it so that you can only get so far before you're met with a wall that you can't get up.
Hang on a second. I'm just coming out. I just found a cookie. Sorry, I was really excited to figure that redstone thing out. Sorry, where are you guys? Oh, I see you.
Hang on.
You're still stuck in the Tetris Hotel, were ya?
No, yeah, but I was looking for that redstone. I really wanted that thing.
Well, come on anytime, back in anytime and find it.
Right.
So what we've got a working volcano, and up the top there, whoever's filming, if you watch the volcano, now I'm just going to go down here. We can kind of make this happen wherever. We've got a wee lever down here, and if I just switch that on, we should see the volcano.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it.
That's I love that. Actually, that's a really, really cool way of doing it.
That'll run down the mountain, and of course the kids won't be able to see where it's coming from. So if you stand down in the village now, you'll see the lava just pour down into the village.
Yeah.
And when fire damage is on, of course, the village burns, and it's just a history lesson. It's talking to the kids about Pompeii in this particular example, but it's also the earth science of looking at volcanoes and looking at how we can stop volcano flows. You can also do the same with flooding. We haven't set one up just now, but we have simulated flooding in the world as well, and tried to get the kids to look at flood defences, which is particularly big in Britain just now. I know it is in other parts of the world as well, but in the British news, we've had such a long winter that we've had some awful flooding, and people have died in those floods. So what we've done is we've set up scenarios like this where we pull a lever and the flood comes, and the kids need to build flood defences. So that's some of the other things. And then Woody's going to kill me now because he has to clean all that lava up.
So it is a manual kind of job. After you let the lava flow, you have to basically clean it up block by block.
Well, no, what you can do is you can land beside it. If I just show you this, if you land beside it and put in there, if you've got world edit on, you can put drain 20, that's /drain space 20, and oh, hang on, I think it's double /drain 20. There we are, and it clears the lava. So
Beautiful.
it's /drain space 20, and you can just quickly clear up the lava. So you have to land on the lava, and then are you guys admin? Will you be able to do that?
Let's see. Robbie, try it.
Space 20 or just
Double
drain 20?
double / drain space 20.
No, don't have permission.
Oh,
That's alright.
It's alright.
I
It's
saw.
okay.
I
So-
recorded you doing it, Stephen. So that's cool.
good stuff. I'll do it again just to.
Oh,
well,
hey, I
there-
did it.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's it. Woody's opt you, so that's brilliant. So yeah, just drain it. So I mean, it might take a few minutes to clean up, but you can do that.
This
so
this wall. Sorry, this wall down here will stop the lava, will it?
it will. Yes,
Yeah.
that will stop the lava. Yeah.
I'm trying to help out Woody with his work. so he doesn't have to do all this himself.
Let me try this.
At the back of us. Then over here we've got. I mean, this is just something again that the kids put in. If I could bring you over to the church or the churchyard, and what we love is what we've done is I don't know if you've noticed, but as you're going round, things have been named after other computer games as a kind of an ode to computer games. So, for example, we've got Rupture Farm, which is the farm that you were at, and it's called Rupture Farm after the Abe's Odyssey farm company. I don't know if you remember the Abe's Odyssey and
I
Abe's
remember the
Exodus.
game. Yeah.
They were called the company was called Rupture Farms. This is I got the kids to think about this. I said, if you could build sort of a history of computer games into this, what would you do? So down here we've got a coffin, which I thought was quite clever. I didn't build that, and there's like, we know how to build a coffin: dig a hole and put 2 chests in it. But if you follow me down here into this crypt, there's a button above the door.
Oh, okay.
Here we are.
Ah. Got it.
Oh yeah, there is.
And then here we've got the tomb of Lord Richard Croft
Oh,
and
yes.
Vivian Croft. And then there's the blank tomb for what will be Lara Croft. So the kids went and looked up, they researched the history of Lara Croft's family and how her mum and dad died and who they were. And then they made a tomb fitting for the Lord and Lady Croft.
Morbid, but nice.
And they were like, Lara Croft, she's got a great history. But we use Lara Croft in schools anyway. We go in and use Lara Croft 4. I'll just open the door, you guys can get out.
Lovely. Ah.
Oh, hang on, let's do that.
There we go.
There we are. That should be you. Right. We use Lara Croft for geography. So we take Lara Croft into schools, we load up various levels, we explore the tombs, and then we explore where she is in that particular place. So it might be exploring ancient Thailand or ancient the Aztecs or the Incas or the Romans, and we use that. So probably the last thing is this here. This was a monumentous task, and this is where we allow PvP. It's a huge desert arena with the diamond heads at one side and the what is that stuff? Emerald heads at this side, and this is where we allow PvP.
Ah.
The kids now we don't. Kids come on our server very, very rarely, but this is more for teachers. But it's just to show the teachers that they can allow the kids a bit of free time and a free space to kind of do that. And around the arena, we've got boxes that are buried, and if they can dig the boxes, now the boxes are made of diamond. No, sorry, it's not obsidian. Yeah, it's obsidian. So if they can eventually get through the obsidian, if they're patient enough and they play the game well enough, they find these great secrets like TNT or tripwires and things, and they can start to defend their base. And the aim of the game is to defend your base, basically. And they're allowed to go into their base and mine materials for making better defenses and so on. And as you can see over here, yep, we can shut that and we can open that.
Yeah.
One of Woody's particular pieces.
Nice.
So that's our PvP arena, and I think that's all. I mean, there are other things. There's lots and lots of other things, but I think that's us.
Well, my brain
guys-
is full. You've just got so many things going on. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
I've
very, very cool.
I've got so many ideas now to bring back. Our grade 4s were going into a unit about natural disasters and about responses to like your volcanoes and stuff like that. And I was looking at plugins, and I think Woody's little contraption of just flicking a switch on the mountainside, kind of opening up and just letting the lava go down, is the simplest way to
yeah,
make
I've
a
never seen it.
volcano.
Yeah, it's so easy.
So
Well,
easy
you
to,
guys-
to think of,
meant
but not to do probably.
What we'll do is, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Woody, but if you guys wanted the volcano as a model, we can chop that out and we can make it into a, what would you call it?
We could turn into a schematic, and I could send you the schematic.
Schematic, and then send that to you so you could place it straight in your world.
That would be cool.
Just because underneath, and I think it's probably actually worth showing you guys, if you come back to the volcano, just show you underneath, we've got, because I can rebuild this, but if we head in here, you can see how it's built. It's actually quite complex. Not that I'm doubting for a second that you guys can do this and more, but it took Woody a long time to work out how to get this to work.
Oh, I bet. So where do you go inside?
Oh, sorry.
There's a little hole there, yeah.
Oh, okay, here. Oh, I got it.
So in here you can see that we've got all the redstone up here. I can't claim to know how this works. Woody's done all of this. But we can develop this as a schematic, and we can deliver that to you at any time.
That would be awesome. If it's not too much trouble, Woody, that would be great. There's
It's not a problem.
no rush at all on it. You got a pig in here, though.
Yeah, we have.
Sorry. Oh, you mean the real pig? Oh, sorry. I thought, sorry. Dumb joke.
Basically, what we're trying to do, and hopefully this video that you're doing will help us. We're just trying to encourage, as I'm sure you are, the use of Minecraft in as many schools as possible, simply because it is very, very high up on the kids' engagement levels. And we just want to be able to attract as many teachers as possible, not just to art, but to Minecraft in general.
I think it's I think that there's quite a lot of advocates for Minecraft right now. Like there was the evangelism sort of phase of Minecraft, you know, like where everybody was like, oh, you know, it's like you gotta try this thing. This is the most amazing thing ever. And, you know, I think that, I'm not sure, maybe I don't know if Colin feels the same way, but I think we're kind of moving past the evangelism phase. It's kind of like everybody just accepts for a fact that this is kind of the way it is right now, and this is one of the best things to come out for education. And I don't know doing the last time anything like this has come out. So now it's kind of like advocates, you know, like we're now we're fighting for it, you know, and it's not just the excitement about it anymore.
The thing for me, however, is, and it's always been this way, the important thing for me is I run an ICT company, or a company that promotes the use of ICT, but I don't believe ICT alone is the answer. You can never replace the teacher, and you can never replace the core learning that's going on, and you can't avoid learning, you know, the core mathematics and the core literacy and so on. And I think it's really important that we use ICT and Minecraft in particular to make real world connections and get the kids thinking about how this relates to the real world. The building that you just passed there is a hotel, for example, and there's rooms in it, and what we wanted was the kids to look at hospitality and how space could be used. First of all, it was an architecture project and how space could be used, and then it was how could space be used in hospitality to get the best result. And then it was, if we're talking about hospitality, let's look at how much you would charge for a hotel and food, and how much per room, and how should the room be decorated, and so on. And there's great ways of doing it. And when we built the hotel, we said to the kids, each Minecraft block will cost you 20 English pounds, 20 Great British pounds. So what we're looking at there is they have to then consider, if we give them a budget, they start to have to consider budgets, and glass costs slightly less, wood costs slightly less, but sandstone costs more, and so on. So they had to look at how fancy they could make this hotel and this architecture project, but within a budget. And that included the restaurants and the kitchens, which we've got through here, and everything. And again, all built by kids in a budget situation. So really building maths into and architecture and so on into the lesson. That's what's really important for me, is just that it's not just a tool, an attractive tool. It's a dedicated life tool. Now, you're not always going to get that. Sometimes it is just about going in and doing something like the Tetris Hotel, which Rob clearly really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It shouldn't also be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me have a freezer here.
Oh, are you in the freezer? Locked in?
Yeah, but I don't. But I can't reach the switch.
There you go.
Woody did that. I'm sure you did that on purpose, Woody.
No,
You
that was
left it.
Colin. He did that deliberately.
I didn't. Anyway, so I think Rob, your Skype is going really slow, so it may be a good time to wrap this up. We've never had a technicality kind of stop the show, but Rob, can you speak again?
Yep. How's that going?
No, you're a bit. Is he staticky for you, Stephen?
Starting to break up.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll wrap it up because we've seen a lot and we've a lot to digest from your world. So if you've got any wrap up comments, Stephen, go ahead and bring it home.
Yeah, just first of all, thanks very much for visiting the world. We've had teachers from all over the world. We had teachers from Chile and New Zealand. We're just about to invite some Lithuanian teachers in, and so on. And it's just great to have as many people in such a varied capacity as possible. We would appreciate just if you could put the word out. That would be a fantastic, and hopefully this video will do that. But we're just so passionate about A, games-based learning, in particular Minecraft, and B, education. So let's get more teachers in, and let's get more teachers receiving free CPD.
Absolutely. Fantastic way to wrap up the video, and I've got a lot to think about after seeing all your different ideas there, because you've kind of spanned so many different subjects and, like primary school and middle school kind of areas as well. So that's really awesome to see a lot of varied examples. So thanks for that.
Guys, I mean, like I say, we do offer free CPD within our own world, but if you guys ever want us to come into your worlds and conduct a lesson with you or build something with you, just give us a shout.
Yeah,
We'd love to.
For sure.
and anybody who's viewing this video as well, we'll put your contact details in your website and in the description, and we'll open it up to the world.
Those super. Thanks very much.
All right, so this is the end of episode 12 of Minechat, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.